What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kasey, and I'm back again with another YouTube video. I know I look super bright, but it's because it is bright in here, I guess. Like, I don't know why I look like this, but anywho. So I just want to tell you guys a few things about like traveling abroad. So I wanted to do this video for any of you guys thinking about like going to London, like going overseas, different things like that, because like getting prepared and just being ready to be over there is a lot. So I kind of wanted to tell you some things that I learned as my first like across the pond trip. Like I've gone like other places, like I've gone to Mexico before, but this is like my first place where, for one, people deliberately try not to speak English or try not to understand you, and we're gonna get into that in a little minute. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna find other places to get these. These are converters. Don't look at my fingers, but this is what their outlets look like over in London. Let's see. Okay, these are London outlets, and these are universal converters. Now these are Paris outlets, and then it converts. So if you don't get one, I'm gonna see if they're on Amazon. If they are on Amazon, I'll let you know. But if you don't bring one, then you need to get one, and that's the first thing you're gonna have to get, because you're not gonna be able to even charge your phone. Second of all, and there are some hotels that actually sell the converter, and that's where I got our first one for London. It was $8 to purchase in the hotel, so that's what we did. And then in Paris, they actually did not have them for sale in the hotel, and so we bought one from one of the boosters on the corner. This is what I'm gonna say. Whenever you go travel somewhere, try as much as possible to like get into the culture there, because like people say, oh well, I don't want to eat at places that I can eat in America, which is cool and stuff, but honestly, like you can think that you know what you want to do for the day, or hear the hot spots like on Instagram, or like where the travel black girl TikTok like leads you, but you'll never know anything unless like you talk to people there and get their suggestions. So anywhere we went and they were like, oh, we can clearly tell that you're American. What do you guys have planned? And I was like, well, you let us know. Now, of course, use your discernment. You don't want to walk into some place where you're finna get kidnapped like Taken, the movie. And I will say, watch Taken, the movie. Taken, the movie prepared me. And I know when I'm finna get kidnapped, I'm vigilant, on high alert, scanning the room always. So that's honestly what I would say is like, and I wouldn't go up to anybody random. It's just like when we were at the mall, like talking to the people at the Gucci store or at Chanel or whatever. Well, not Chanel. When we were at the Gucci store, we were talking to one of the sales associates there to say like, hey, like what is there to do tonight? Like you clearly know we're not from here. Like what's the move? Where would you go? And so that's when she like told us kind of where to go, things like that. And that's when we actually ran into Abs at the Gucci store, and she's like, oh, just like follow me, like come on, like let's go here. And at first I was like, Abs, where you taking us to? Because I don't know now. I don't know. And then after a while I was like, oh, okay, it's cool. Because yeah, I mean, you really technically don't go off with strangers, but when I tell you we was like hanging out with this woman, like met her friends, and like had the best time, like meeting her like changed our London experience, I feel. So it was like the best part. Her and the woman that we met in France are the reasons why I downloaded WhatsApp. Don't try to find me on WhatsApp, but yeah. I would say try to learn as much like French as you can before you go. I downloaded Duolingo like a month before I went, because I was like, I may need to know a couple of things, because before Duolingo, all I could say was bonjour. That's it. That was the only, oui, oui. That's it. That's all I had in the arsenal. But now I went, and they thought I was foreign, baby. They just knew I was French. I was like, bonjour, je m'appelle Kasey, et toi? And then they would go into their sentence, and I'm like, whoa, tu parles anglais? You speak English? But I feel like because people like in London were so like French people are mean, French people are rude, and they're all gonna stare at you, which this woman did stare me down in the subway. And we're gonna get to that in a minute. But I think because like I went there and respected their culture and try to like be a part, not be French, because obviously I am a Southern babe at heart, okay? And this accent is thick, but like just trying to show like effort of trying to understand like what they were saying, because apparently like if you went to French school, then in high school I think, or university, I can't remember, but you have to know English. But they will act like they don't know English, even though majority of them do speak English. Oh, this woman staring me down in the subway. Okay, this is what I'm gonna say about the tube and the metro. I love it. I was here for it. If you don't have any good walking sneakers, they call them trainers, or some whatever, you need to get you some before you go over there. Because when I tell you I clocked 20,000 steps a day, that's what I mean. I was always hungry, ready to eat all the time, because all I was doing was walking everywhere. So I honestly did not gain any weight traveling because all I did was walk. So get you some good pair of shoes or sandals or whatever, but yeah. So I was on the subway in Paris, and this black woman would not stop staring at me. And at first I tried to just let her stare at me, because like that's really nothing new. People do like, just look at me and that's fine. But she was like staring into my soul. And so then I was like, I'm gonna stare her back into her soul. So I stared at her and I just sat there and I looked at her just like this for a long time. And we had a staring match just like this. And then all of a sudden she broke and looked out the window, and I'm like, yeah. Because if you want to be mean and stare at me, I'm staring back at you. So I'm like really trying to be better with like not giving that same energy, but I'm so good at giving you the energy that you're giving me. Sometimes it's a little much, but so that was one thing. And then they will talk about you in Paris. They will talk about you while you're sitting right there in French, just like when you go to get your nails done. I promise they will, because our train stopped and they were speaking in French, and so obviously they were going a little too fast for my dialect, you know. So I said, bonjour. What did they say? Because I don't even have time to try to make some sentence. What did they say? I don't understand. And so then he started laughing, and I did not crack not one smile. I was like, you gonna tell me or no? And so he told me, and then he went back to talk to his friend about me in French. And the only reason why I know is because the friend kept looking at us, and they kept looking at us the whole time. And I was like, okay, but what you finna do? Because whatever. But they also advise like heavily against pickpocketers in London and Paris. But if you don't watch that movie by, it has Will Smith and that white woman in it, about the gambling something. I can't think of the name of that movie. But they basically show you how you can get pickpocketed. Watch that movie before you go, because if somebody distracts you or like bumps into you, then just know that you probably just got picked. Oh, here's a thing too. I don't know if you guys know this, but I know some people may not know, but on your phone in the Maps app, like how you get directions around here, you can also go across, like overseas, and put in directions for whatever place you want to go to, and it tells you how to get there via the train system there and the bus system there. It like is synced up, so you don't have to download another app. Just put in the address of where you want to go, and it'll tell you which train to get off on, to get on, which stop to get off on, so you can get there. So you really don't have to look like you don't know what you're doing or ask like where you're going or anything like that, because it's right there on your phone. Oh, things to know about shopping. So both of those places are huge for shopping, right? So this is what I would suggest. This is what was suggested to me. And this is what I also found out on TikTok after the trip. But so The people who work in the stores there will suggest for you to pay with euros instead of with US dollars. So you're gonna put your card in to buy whatever you're gonna buy, and it'll ask you like euros or US dollars. Pick euros, because then you'll only be charged the international fee. Whereas if you pay for US, then I think you're charged, like, they do the conversion of how much it actually would be, which you're paying more for the US dollar, in the US dollar, than you are in euro. So you might as well just use euro and then get charged the international fee, which I checked my account and it was like 10 cents for the transaction. Also there, to ride the tube in London, it was like, you can pay on your phone each time. Like, you don't have to worry about like buying a bus pass or buying whatever there. And I think it was like $2 for like all day, or maybe it was $6 all day, however many trains you want to ride, as long as like you're within a certain district or something like that. So it was actually a deal to do that. And that's how we decided to get around. We only took Ubers in Paris after, like, when we were going back after like the train stop. Like, the train would stop at like 12:31, and if we stayed out later, then obviously we'd have to Uber. In London, it was very hard for us to get an Uber. I had a great time. I had a blast. I would do it again. I may move to London. We never know. Let the US do it one more thing, and I may be out of here packing my bags, because I had that much fun, and I am gonna go again. And yeah. So if you have any questions about going to London, just follow me on Instagram and send me a DM, because then I can see it for sure.